Welcome to Shade in the
City.
City. I'm Tree.
It's Nose.
And today we are getting into our review of Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 7. And you know what? I'll just say the shade for the review because I'm here for Sanya. I don't know. It's giving pick me. But all right guys, so let's get into it and let's get shady.
Drew walks into the dinner, y'all, and she said it's because she was invited and not uninvited, okay? And because she comes in peace, she is a very supportive friend, and she wants some Jamaican food. I feel you, boo.
I hear.
Sanya says Drew is most definitely welcome because she wanted to have a conversation with her anyway, to discuss the issues that they're having. Now, Sanya says that she told everyone that she was going to give a prize for whoever did the best dirty wine. She pulls out her gold medal, I think from what, 2012, 2011, yes. Something like that. And she gives it to Marlo. Marlo is the winner of this.
Now that might have been a good twerk or a good, Megan needs, but it definitely wasn't a dirty wine. But it's okay.
It definitely wasn't. Now Marlo says she's gonna make this into a chain, child, because she love a good archive piece.
Okay.
The archive. I said this heifer here. Then Sanya starts, okay, by saying, she's really glad that Drew came because she really wanted to talk to her. And she's been trying to talk to her for a while. Why the hell she say that? Because Drew was like, oh, you couldn't when you was getting your makeup done? For free?
Lord, all the ladies are like, ooh.
I think what Drew was basically trying to get across was you had so much to say to me, but yet you still came up to my room to my makeup artist and used him and got your services for free, but you had so much to say. You couldn't say it right then and there, and maybe not use my makeup artist if you were going to be so negative towards me. And of course, this starts an argument. Sanya is like, no, it wasn't free. It was $25. Da 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 da. And she was like, did you pay it? Did you pay it?
You didn't give me the contact information.
So then it was free because if it was $25, I probably paid it for you since you ain't doing it. You didn't get the contact information when you got your services done since you knew it wasn't free. I'm just saying. Then, they get into the real issue, after, what's her name? What's that child name?
Mama Sharon.
No, I wasn't talking about her. Oh. Well, anyways, they get into the real issue, and Sanya says, these things are important to me, like when trying to build a friendship and, like you're talking about your business, and like, I don't feel like you're being honest, like shit just ain't adding up. And Drew says, well, you don't think that could have been a phone call? You thought that it was appropriate to have this conversation in front of the entire group? And she felt like that was hurtful. And basically, oh, I'm sorry. And then you invited her and then uninvited her. That was hurtful. So basically, you took how Drew put and then turned it.
You basically stabbed me with a knife and then turned it. I said, go ahead, Drew.
Because already you had the conversation. Then you invited me and then uninvited me. So yes, I can see how she came to that conclusion.
Right.
Okay. Then Sanya says, she's very sensitive about the way she communicates, because she really didn't mean to hurt her feelings. And Drew was over there, making all types of faces.
Making some faces.
I ain't gonna lie, that would still be me. You really just can't control it. She was like, I can't control my eyebrows and my face. I would be the same way, like
I'm with her. My face don't tell no lies.
all over my face. And then Mama get into it. Mama Sheree, she's like, okay, so I'm gonna need you to show her the same respect because you know you're making these faces when y'all are talking, it's gonna piss her off. Why am I in control of this woman's feelings? I can't even control my faces.
Right.
Why do I need to be in control of this woman's feelings?
Well,
I'm just saying. So, Drew basically tells her that she feels like she's cloud chasing. And you done said the wrong goddamn words because Sanya said, ma'am, I am a 4-time Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
Okay, put some respect on my name. Banging on the table. She shook the table. Okay. And Kenya and Candy is in the confessional. They going crazy over this type of read. They are like,
Kenya's like drops mic.
Exactly. So Drew basically says, well, cheers to that. I don't know if she was being shady or what.
Right.
But I mean, really, at the end of the day, Sanya is, an Olympic gold medalist. I mean, really.
Well, y'all gonna put some respect on her name.
Really, I mean, she said, I am the clout, boo. So Drew says, well, cheers. Like all friends don't see eye to eye all the time. We're different.
She could have had a conversation with her separately, and I think that we can all agree. We don't know why Sanya did it this way, and even if she
constantly continues to do it.
Right, she continues to do it, which is the craziness about it.
Then Drew says, moving on, and discussing friendships. Kenya, did you mention to Candy your issue with the sex toys?
And Kenya's like, well, thank you. If you're gonna drag me through the mud with you, then she says I did feel a little uncomfortable, Candy, with the vibrating panties and whatnot. And then I thought it was really interesting because Mama Joyce interrupts her and says, well, if you didn't want to wear them, you didn't have to put them on, sweetheart. And she said, no one controlled my JJ but me.
We know she's gonna take up for her daughter. We know this.
Right.
She's like Miss Wanda.
Right. Candy calls her out and says, from the person that played the lead role in Toi, and I actually forgot this, but I do remember when the movie drops.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, damn, she was in that movie, wasn't she? And he was like, and now she's over here picking when she's being prim and proper. And then apparently we learned, I didn't realize this, but word on the street, allegedly she got a bit of a pass. And according to Marlo, we ain't gonna say that's word on the street. We just gonna say that's according to Marlo. According to Marlo, allegedly, Kenya has been with almost every man in Hollywood. Everybody thinks that about any type of girl that's been in a video, though. So then they asked Marlo, well, do you have names? I love the producers for being messy. They're like, well, do you have names? And she said, just Google. She said, just Google anybody that was out while she was popping. I said, damn, Marlo. But at the same time, can we Google your old man? Right. Well, anyways, Miss Joyce is shocked that, Keonce had a problem with it. Okay. And Sanya basically tells them, I only got this place until 9, so you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. So thank you all for joining us. But, basically, Drew, we're going to put a pin in that and we're going to discuss this. We're going to finish this later, but toodaloo. And I wonder when they're going to finish it. Not in a private conversation. So we get to see Marlo in her best, stages. I do think I do think that since she has gotten her peach, we're able to see a lot more of the positive side of Marlo while still allowing her to be messy and shady because that's what she does best. Now, she's arriving to be a speaker at a women's expo to speak about her foundation, Glam It Up, which began in 2011. She said that it was something that she started as an initiative to reach out to young girls in foster care. Obviously, we know that's how Marlo grew up. And, she gets on stage and she tells her personal story about her mother's substance abuse and how she ended up in foster care. She talks about how she lived in 5 different foster homes growing up and pretty much grew up resentful because of her, circumstances. So she doesn't want anybody else to grow up like that and wants to try to help other young women. And so basically she says that her message to these girls is just because you're in foster care, doesn't mean you can't do what you set your mind to. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. And
that you're not worthy.
I said, come through with these manifests. What? You can dream it, you can achieve it. I'm just telling y'all.
So Sanya sits down with her family. She says the food came out great, which was surprising to her because of all the chaos.
Right.
And her sister is like, the hell happened? Why was there what chaos? I mean,
I really did forget her sister's name because it definitely say her sister. And I don't know why I looked to that direction, but go ahead.
And she says that first Marlo and Sheree, jumped on her for not inviting them to the Mommy Nation photo shoot. And Sanya says, she actually loved that energy. And wish she could have them all there. She's like, you want to be there? Guess what? Right. I got you next time. You can come out and support, boo. But then her mama Sharon reminds her, could you imagine what it would be like if they were all there? Drama, 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 drama. Okay. And she's like, yeah.
That part.
Then she lets her know that Drew actually did show up and had the nerve to say that she was clout chasing. Okay. And she had to put her in her place and let her know that she is the clout. And Daddy goes, boop, boop, boop.
Right.
Gunfire.
Right.
That's right, Daddy. That's right.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Right. And her sister says, like, she wasn't even Melody in the game. So, like, and Sonia and her mom, Sharon, is just like,
that shade. That shade.
I think Sonia knew what the game was. She just never watched it or knew what her role was. But Sharon had no idea. She's never even heard of the game.
No, she said, I've watched the game. She said, I've watched the game. I've never seen her on it. The same as me. I've watched the game, but I know she was the character that caused the friction, but I had never watched her on the show. So I can understand. Sanya was probably like me, and once Melanie and Derwin broke up, he was just over it.
Oh, you stopped watching once they broke up. I thought you stopped watching once they were off the show.
No, I stopped watching once they broke up. That's why I never
knew
I knew of her. So when she was like, oh, I'm the, villain, everybody like, and then I was like, oh, you're that bitch. But
on the show, she was super cute though.
Yeah.
On that show.
Look, I was just about to say you did specify that show, but anyway. I think you need to fan yourself, shady bitch.
So Drew calls Marlo to let her know that she is dropping it with Drew. Okay. And wants to know what the hell she missed. Okay. And Marlo tells her she missed a lot because she really couldn't believe that Kenya showed up for Sanya's event, but didn't show up for Sheree.
Mm-hmm.
And Marlo is clearly, still feeling some type of way about the Mommy Nation photo shoot because she says, like, lady, it's Mommy Nation. You need a nation. Why only choose them? What? So I think Marlo still feel like she might be clout chasing a little bit.
Right.
She's also a little disappointed with Candy because she feels like, she's Miss Atlanta. And she felt like, she should have
took her down to old lady gang and, comped some drinks and stuff. And
basically made it like play some music and basically celebrate Sheree, which even if that wasn't the plan, I can understand where she's coming from.
Right.
That, you're kind of like the mommy of the group, I guess, a little bit. And, you knew what was going on. So,
that's a whole nother thing too. But
basically, and Marlo says, she's going to speak to her and let her give her a piece of her mind and tell her she need to be a better friend. Friends.
How many
of us have them?
So Sheree has a guest at the chateau, and apparently it is her life coach, Jack Daniels. That's not an easy name to forget. So
we ain't talking about the bottle, y'all.
You stupid. And so Sheree is meeting with him, and he basically asks her how she's doing, and she lets him know she has seen better days. So then he wants her to obviously go a little deeper in what she means by that. And she tells him about what happened in Philly, how Tyrone left her outside and played her. With no explanation. And, he breaks it down for her and basically lets her know that to you, in the mind of a man in prison, you were a fantasy. You were somebody he looked up at and jacked off to. And, he
actually did say that, y'all.
Yeah, he did say that. And he said, and now here it is, he's released, and he sees you on TV and whatever, and he has to continue with this fantasy of his. Now, I guess where I missed Mr. Daniels was, well, why wouldn't you keep up the fantasy? Why would you then let that fall by the wayside?
Well, I think he was saying, because he was saying that then he'd have to be on TV with you.
But I thought that's what he wanted, because he even said,
I don't think that's what he wants, because he's living a whole double life in Philly.
You and Candy are terrible. Anyway, so he then asked her, so do you plan to talk to him again? And she says she's not sure.
And I like that she's honest.
I
can appreciate that.
I can appreciate that too.
Because she has everyone around her telling her to block him, don't talk to him anymore. And after the way he did her, and it's on camera, the embarrassment, the heart, like the hurt that she feels. You would think that it would be easy for any woman.
Like, no, I ain't talking to this nigga again.
I'm done. Right. I'm done.
I am she by Sheree.
Exactly. But that just goes to show you really how strong she is, how comfortable she is in her own skin, because she can comfortably tell you
that she's human. And yeah, I might take this nigga back. And I mean,
I'm hurt right now, but I can't say that I'll be hurt forever.
I will say we do a lot of shit talking and a lot of judgment, but let me tell you something. We have all been there where we have been stupid. So we get it.
Mm-hmm.
He basically just tells her, you need to stay out the prison system. Next person you meet needs to not be coming from a jail. And I couldn't say that I disagree.
And to pour yourself into something that you actually enjoy.
Which we do. Thank you for not forgetting that. We talk about She by Sheree, how she's been struggling to get it off the ground. It started off looking like
she actually has some yoga mats and water bottles that we ain't even know about.
Right. It started off looking like Just For Me pink Lustra moisturizer commercial. And and then it turned into joggers by the time we got to the reunion. You stupid. And and ever since the joggers, we still haven't gotten the joggers. So yeah, she need to get jogging on a plan and do that shit.
So Candy and Todd, we're gonna give Todd some credit too. They are decluttering the guest house. And she said she wanted to take some stuff over to Marlo for her charity and see if she could use it. She says it lifts her spirits to, lift someone else's spirits. Candy and Todd are going through these bags of clothes, and she mentioned
Todd is playing the shit out of her. He's like, don't nobody want that old 70s, 60s looking fashion.
She's like, it's cute. I think it's cute.
And it was a little
jacket was cute. The jacket that they said. The jacket was cute, I thought. Candy and Todd are going through these bags of clothes, and she mentions that she needs to go out of town tonight so she can do her part for tomorrow. And he's like, hold up, is this the one where you're gonna do the sex scene with the woman? And he was like, yeah, we really not, we're not feeling that. Like, we ain't popping no coochie. You ain't getting a Grammy for that. And she's like, in a confession, she's like, well, actually it's a TV show, I will get an Emmy.
Right.
And the award goes to, I said, go ahead, Candy. So she calls Marlo and tells Marlo that, she was going through the clothes and wanted to know what she can do to donate to her foundation. And Marlo says, yeah, she don't give her girls hand-me-downs.
Yeah,
And
she did say
Candy is caught off guard. She was like, because she was in foster care, and that's all she got. Huh?
Candy says these clothes are gently worn.
Yes, she did. She said she wears them like one time and that's it. But she said she was in foster care and that's all she got. So she wants to make them feel good and make them feel like they're worthy. Now, in the confessional, Marlo says that she wouldn't bring an open bag of chips to a Candy Cares event. So it's hurtful to her that she's offering trash bags of clothes after knowing her for 10 years and knowing basically she don't get down like that. She would not give her girls hand-me-down clothes. I don't even know what to say to that because I thought it was.
I know. I said, well, damn, Marla, you coming in kind of hard, but okay, I get it. So Kenya pulls up on Sheree to meet what looks like a breakfast date. And
I got the name of it.
Oh, what?
It's called Just Love Coffee Shop. It's breakfast. So
okay.
I rewound it to find it.
Oh, okay. I knew she would.
And I'm not even ordered a omelet.
I think that what they were having was I'm actually interested in it, and I don't even do breakfast, but they were having a omelet.
I might try and make it, child.
And apparently this is an omelet made in a waffle maker. And I said, that sounds like because I like, the crust on the waffles when they're nice and fresh out there. So I can understand.
And I would think it's like fluffy and
yeah. So Kenya talks about how she's feeling or how she's failing with her business. She says that if she's not able to turn it around, she may lose everything. And we all know she can't do that because Mark wants some of her money. So she's basically in jeopardy of losing her legacy. And I think she even said that I guess everything that her supplies were all coming from China.
And they're like back ordered or
long. And then also, one of her biggest retailer, which is Walmart, they're not, it's supply and demand. If you're not getting us the shit. And so basically she could lose her, her biggest profit. So she's just worried about that and trying to get recentered. And Sheree talks about her struggles with She by Sheree again.
That child act like she can relate.
I noticed that too. I was like, Sheree.
Honey.
Sheree.
Honey, stop it.
Bless her heart. So Kenya suggests her meeting with, Sheree just talks about, and I've been trying to get this off the ground, and how are you getting people to manage it? Basically trying to get a how-to guide on how to get She by Sheree off the ground. And Kenya don't do nothing without a check. That's going to be a mentorship check. You ain't getting that. Okay. But she does tell Sheree, Sheree expresses her, feeling like, she's dealt with just men in the business. And I can give her that she's probably run into some shady practices where people are like, oh, I want to help you. And then it's like, oh no, but I like you. So if you go
once it gets to the end, they're like, oh, right. But I like you, right?
Right.
So she's like, get some female CEOs, boo.
Right. So I'll give you some female CEOs with a finder's fee. She then brings up wanting to address how Marlo accused her of basically flaking on Sheree. She says she was really sick, but hates how Marlo is acting as a double agent. She doesn't understand why she would basically do this when they just barely got back on good terms. And I think Nell said that last review, like, y'all just got back good. Why are we? And that's true. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens because
and she does tell Sheree, like, she doesn't want her to think that she's not a loyal friend, and Sheree is super happy that, she clarified that. And once again, Kenya's picking up the bill. I need to go to lunch, to dinner or something with Kenya. Sheree was like, oh, well, had I known that, man,
I would have picked a five-star
restaurant.
And it also says a lot about Sheree because she damn sure went to a cafe.
I thought, but see, I think that's where Kenya told her to meet her. But I mean, either way, every time she go out, I constantly see Kenya picking up the bill. Can one of y'all ladies take her out?
Look, Kenya, business must not be that bad.
So we see Kenya sending out a group text to the ladies to meet up to support Sheree and show her that, they are her village and her sisterhood. We see Candy out in LA getting ready to shoot her show.
A la
And
carte.
huh?
A
A
la
la carte, yes. And Marlo is at home doing her Munty duties. She's cooking something. I'm not 100% familiar with what it was, but apparently it's shrunk in the pan. I don't know what it was. So at the lunch, I'm gonna say this.
Drew arrives first, and she looks cute. I was loving her bob.
I don't really remember.
Her little short bob, and it was like kind of crimpy. Like it was really cute. Drew actually looked really good in this scene.
Okay. So they show up to support Sheree, and yes, Drew showed up first. And then Sonya comes in and they hug it out, like, you know, on some positive vibes, and you know, like they was Gucci. And then Marlo also comes in and says that, you know, she loves the positivity. What's that face? What you give me face for?
No, I just said it was fake vibes to me, but okay.
Well, it would have been awkward vibes had they just sat there and not did shit. And you know, she said,
or they could have had a conversation before everyone got there. Just like
that. I thought that was actually going to happen, but apparently not.
Right.
So Marlo says she loves the vibes and talks about her sister who was in jail for a driving violation, and apparently
a minor driving violation at that.
Yes, but apparently every time she goes in front of the judge, they realize that she has some mental problems, and
issues, yeah.
They deny her release. She says the last judge that she was seen in front of was a smart judge and wants to put her in an inpatient facility for her mental issues. And she feels like that's a great idea, but apparently the sister has to agree with it. So Marlo feels that there's a little bit of hope because she may, you know, have to get the boys to talk to their mom and maybe convince her, and they would be able to come visit her. So maybe that might actually, you know, convince her as well. And Kenya comes in and sits across from the ladies and tells them not to get too close because she's still sick, y'all. I don't know. This is really giving COVID, but she said she was tested. And I know they ain't gonna let you on the show if you got it. So I don't know. Sheree says it feels good to get out and, you know, have some girlfriend time. And they all do a cheers, do one even for Candy, who's out in LA shooting her show. Marlo mentions that Candy called her to donate hand-me-down clothes, and she said she ain't doing it, but you know, not for her glam it up girls. And Kenya basically says you are sending the wrong message, okay, because you're putting worth in clothes. I said, well, Kenya, rich.
Yeah, she came with a word.
Well, so Marlo explains that she got picked on because of her hand-me-down clothes when she was growing up. And Kenya's like, everybody got picked on.
Got picked on.
Okay. You don't vilify someone for giving, you know, for donating to your charity.
It's not on the level that you expect it to be. And I said,
right?
Come with a word, Kenya.
Kenya, okay. And then Kenya brings up Marlo and how, you know, she was accusing her of lying for being sick because she had makeup on. And Kenya says, you know, she wasn't being a friend by trying to vilify her and turn people against her. And there's no way she's trying to be a friend and talking shit about her. And Marlo feels that, you know, she's just mad because she's not kissing her ass. I don't know. Okay. Whatever. Marlo says her and Kenya, you know, can get in a fight right now, but you know, she loves her and it's no hate. But from Candy, she wants more action. She feels some type of way that Candy didn't reach out. Huh?
The part about Marlo talking about how terrible her wig looked, and Kenya's wig did look awful.
But she said she was still sick. You got to give her a pass.
Head full of hair, and you got that Party City wig on. Go ahead.
We will not call it a Party City wig. It was not placed correctly, but that was still some good hair. Okay, that was not no Party City. We've seen some Party City wigs, Trish.
Yes,
that was not one. That was still some good hair. It just was not properly placed. It looked like maybe her hair wasn't braided down or something like that underneath, but that was still some high quality hair. Okay. Now, basically, Marlo expresses that she's upset with Kenzie because she didn't reach out to Sheree with the Tyrone situation. And she feels like, like Sheree feels like also like she hasn't been a friend lately as well. Now, Sanya decides to jump in there, and she mentions that she felt bad because she didn't
pick me.
You're the worst. She feels bad that she didn't invite everyone, besides, Kenzie and Kenya, and she would like to make it up to them. Okay. And Drew says, what about the people that was invited and then uninvited?
And
but apparently this is not a trip
to you because we still not good.
Yeah. Apparently this is not a trip for Drew. But Drew says like she had already told her about it. Sonia kind of denies that, but then admits to it later. And then Drew says, like, how can you be friends with somebody like that? Like it's not even funny. And I completely understand. Like, I don't give a damn if we're friends, you don't invite me and then uninvite me to something.
Right.
If I'm supposed to be
out before we get there.
Right. If I'm supposed to be supporting you, I'm supposed to be loved, like a supporting friend. Like,
right.
You don't just leave me out of your whole event. Like, and then only invite me to things when you want to put shit on the table in front of everybody. Like, that shit is not cool. So Sonya got frustrated and talks about how Drew mentioned that, she didn't pay for her artist, and tells her, basically like they go back and forth about that. Okay. And then Drew was like, what you're not about to do is go from 0 to 2,000. And like, she tells her that she is unstable. And point, they go back and forth about who's whack.
Kenya moves them apart. Sheree goes to get in the middle of them because they are clearly too close and too many hands and fingers and faces. And we know how Drew loves to do that. And that this might not go well.
Yeah. And then Drew gets up to leave, and Kenya, she follows behind her and lets her know where everything went left. And she feels like it went left when Drew was kind of talking over Sonya and wouldn't kind of let her get a word in. And Drew basically says that's her problem, not mine, and leaves. Oh, okay. Well, we really just don't give a damn. And then Marlo, she gets on FaceTime with her sister, with her nephews there with her, to talk to her sister. And Marlo says that, when her sister got on the phone, she knew immediately that she wasn't herself. She was cursing at her, yelling, and blaming her for being the reason why she's there. Apparently the guards told her that she was not coming back to the phone. She even threw a chair at the monitor. And she says that her sister needs inpatient, but she just won't do it. So it was a really sad scene. It was really hard to watch Marlo actually break down. We don't get to see her emotional too much either.
Right.
But prayers for Marlo's sister. Let's hope, she can get it together and come back home to her babies.
Right. Thank you guys for tuning into another review of Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. This is what I was about to say, Love and Marriage something. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Please make sure, if you have not already, that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And yes, we will catch you guys next week for another review of the Real Housewives of Shady Ass Atlanta. Have a great night.
Mwah.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe.